Verse 11, Egeneto they, tiafti tis imera. And it came to pass on such a day, imera, isilthan iosif, istin ikian, piin ta ergra aftu. And Joseph entered into the house to do his works, ergonomics, it's a derivative. Ke udis in ton anti ikia eso, and no one was in the house inside. Esoteric, something internal, is a derivative. Verse 12, Ke epespasato afton ton imation, and she drew him by his clothes, legusa, saying, Ke mithiti metamu, come to bed with me. Ke katalipon ta imatia aftu entes hersin aftis, and leaving behind his clothes in her hands, ephege, ke exilthan exo, he fled and went outside, exo, exotic, something to do with exo, outer. And so here she now is physically pulling him, getting him there and grabbing him, and then when he does flee, part of his clothing comes off and she has what she needs, proof against him. Verse 13, Ke ageneto os ethan oti katalipon ta imatia aftu entes hersin aftis. And it came to pass, as she saw that, leaving behind his clothes in her hands, ephege, ke exilthan exo, he fled and went forth outside. Verse 14, Ke akalasetos ontus inti ikia, and she called the ones being in the house. So before there was no one in the house, so apparently they came in eventually. Ke ipanaftis, and said to them, legusa, saying, Idite isigagen imin peda ivreon, and pexin imin. See, he brought in to us a Hebrew servant to mock us. Isilthe pros me, he entered to me, legon, saying, Kimithiti metamu, come to bed with me. Just what she said, completely lying. Ke avoisa phoni megali, and I yelled a great voice. A phone is a derivative, and mega is large, a great voice. So here we have this woman, certainly up on the top of the list of the evil women of the Bible, up with Jezebel and Salome's mother. Maybe one of the top 5. And possibly Delilah, that would be another one. 15. And they to accuse afton oti ipsosa tin phonin mu, and in his hearing that my voice was raised, ke avoisa, and I yelled, katalipon ta imatia aftu par me, leaving behind his clothes by me, ephige, he fled, ke exilthan exo, and he went forth outside. Verse 16, Ke katalimpani ta imatia par iafti. And she left the clothes by herself. Eos ilthen o Kyrios is ton ikon aftu, until the master came into his house. Verse 17, Ke elalisen afto kata tarima tatavta. And she spoke to him concerning these things, legusa, saying, Isilthe pros me opes o Evreos. There entered to me the Hebrew servant, on isigages pros imas, whom you brought in to us, and pexe me, to mock me. Ke ipe me, and he said to me, Kimi thisome metasu, I will come to bed with you. Verse 18, Oste ikusen oti ipsosa tin phonim mu, but as he heard that I raised my voice, ke avoisa, and I yelled, katalimpon ta imatia aftu pare me, leaving behind his clothes by me, ephege, he fled, ke exilthan exo, and he went forth outside. So now she's laying the case to Potiphar. Ageneto they os ikus, and it happened as O Kyrios avtu heard, his master heard ta rimata tis ginekos avtu, the words of his wife, os elalase pros avton, as much as she spoke to him, legusa, saying, utos epi semi, o pes su, thus your servant did to me, keithi mothi, orgi, that he was enraged with anger, orgy, agitated state. So Potiphar believes the wife, and what happens? Verse 20, Ke lavon o Kyrios Iosif, and the master taking Joseph, and Evelyn avton isto ochiroma, put him into the fortress, probably the place where he was in charge of. Iston topon in o I vesmote tu vasileos, katechonte, aki in to ochiromati. In the place, topography, I should have highlighted that, in which the prisoners of the Vasileos, the king of Basilica, whereas the derivative Basilica, were held there in the fortress. So he wasn't in charge of the jail, but he may have been in charge of all the this area of the soldiers, the guard. And verse 21, Ke in Kyrios mata Iosif, and the Lord was with Joseph. Ke katehen avtu Elios, and he poured down upon him mercy. Poured down upon him mercy. That's wonderful. And Elios, we have the Kyrie eleison, the Lord have mercy. Ke edoken avto harin enantion to archidesmophilakos, and he gave to him favor before the chief jailer. The archi is a chief, and the desmophilakos is a jail. Verse 22, Ke edoken o archidesmophilax to desmotirion via hieros Iosif, and the chief jailer gave the jail over to the hand of Joseph. And via is like through. I could have put through the hand of Joseph. Ke pantas tus apingamenus, and all the ones being taken away, the prisoners. Ocn to desmotirio, ke panta osa piusin eki, as many as were in the jail, and all as much as they do there. Avtos in pion, he was doing. So now he has taken over from Potiphar's household, taken over, given grace by God, and he is now over the jail. Uk in o archidesmophilax tu desmotiriu, genoskon theafton uden, for not was the chief jailer of the jail knowing anything concerning him. Uden, not one thing. So again, this man gave it all over to Joseph, just like Potiphar. Pantagar in thea hieros Iosif, for all was through the hand of Joseph. Thea to ton Kyrion medaf tu ine, because of the Lord being with him, and we have the tone, and because of the reason, the Lord being with him, it's an elision there. There's no reason, but I added it in for clarity. Ke osa avtos api, as much as he did, Kyrios evodo in tes herasin avtu, the Lord prospered the way in his hand. And we will be continuing the story in the 40th chapter. I hope you will join us, and God bless.